There it is.
Well, there you have it. We're going to go to overtime in the Class A match at 112 pounds between Joe Enderby, 26-0, and Jeff Semrad, 27-1. And Enderby had things under control. He was leading it, I believe, 9-4 when Semrad came back, got the reversal and the near fall to tie it at 9-9.
And all of a sudden, here we go, and it's a whole new ball game. And he who is in the best condition and has the best mental attitude now is in top shape.
Joe Enderby, 18 years old, has 4 older brothers. In fact, there are 6 brothers in the family and 2 sisters, so he comes from a large family, and it is a wrestling family. And as we told you, Jeff Semrad also from a family rich in wrestling tradition.
I feel strongly that
Semrad, Waukesha South, the black shirts from the Suburban Conference. Underway, 1 minute, the first period of overtime.
Now we have
a stalling warning on Joe Enderby.
The previous stalling warning must have been called on Semrad, because we had a stalling call over along the side of the mat, and there was 1 point awarded. I thought it was the other way around. At any rate, they're circling now with 33 seconds to go on the mat. And Enderby does not look like he's setting up to get anything at all here, but possibly will come out with a throw. Semrad is trapped, can't get his head free, can't get his arm free. There we come with a throw attempt by Enderby, and it's going to be 2 points for the takedown. And the referee is counting along the side of the mat. It's going to be a great big 5-point takedown here, and maybe even a pin if he can pull him back on, Marsh.
Okay, I was going to ask you, they're close to the edge of the mat. That's the end of the time. 3 minutes for back, 3 points for back points, and now Enderby leads in the overtime by a score of 5-0. What is the ruling when they get close to the edge of the mat like that?
The pinning area, pinning surface was on the mat. That is the shoulder blades. And Enderby was entirely on the mat, and he has a perfect right now to try and pull his opponent back in where he can handle him.
Second period of overtime at 112 pounds, Class A. Joe Enderby, Jeff Semrad from Waukesha South. And Semrad.
This is about where we were saying earlier that the thing was all sewed up, and suddenly it went to an overtime, so Semrad's going to have to throw all caution pretty soon here now, Marsh. These 1 minute periods go pretty rapidly.
He's going to have to try to turn him right away, Kirby.
Right away. He's going to have to go either by turning him here or letting him up and hoping to get a throw of his own. Now remember, Enderby has been warned for stalling, and if he doesn't do much more than he's doing right now, the official will be obliged to do something about it, and here it comes. 1 point going to Semrad for stalling. With 31 seconds to go in the second period. Joe Enderby of Green Bay Preble over Jeff Semrad of Waukesha South. 9-9 regular session now. It's into the overtime. Enderby comes up right away this time in order to avoid stalling. Moves in and gets his escape. Now the score goes to 6-1, and now again we're in that throw situation. Semrad attempted a throw. It was beautifully countered. Of course, came to naught as they went out of bounds.
11 seconds remaining in the second period of overtime. 112 pounds, Class A. Enderby leads it by a score of 6-1. Semrad comes out of it and rolls Enderby over.
No, it's going to be
2 points for Semrad, and that's the end of the second period. Enderby leads the overtime by a score of 6-3 in the second period, and there is 1 minute left of wrestling. Could we have a second overtime period, Kirby?
No.
And Semrad in the down position. He trails. He's got to come out of there.
And remember, of course, that Enderby has been called for stalling now, and he can't afford to sit around and do nothing. Otherwise, he will be in trouble in that respect. Semrad coming out, trying to sit out, hand fight, see if he can't get himself a chance to roll in. He'd be well advised to take a reversal if he could for 2 points. But I'm sure at this point he'll take anything he can get, Marsh.
35 seconds remain in the third period of overtime.
It's pretty much in command. Here comes a situation.
Semrad is coming out,
reversal.
and he gets the reversal, and now it is 6-5 with 15 seconds remaining. Semrad has to turn him. 10 seconds left in the overtime period. 5 seconds.
Here comes a stalling against Enderby. That ties the match.
1 point stalling for Enderby, and it's tied up at 6-6. Holy mackerel, listen to the crowd. Third period of overtime. Jeff Semrad and Joe Enderby were tied at 6 with 6 seconds left in the third period of overtime, and we probably will have a criteria decision, and that is coming up right now. So there will be a moment or two of suspense, and we will make that determination. Now, Kirby, I know that you've seen some of these things happen before. What are some of the things that enter into the decision?
Well, if it's tied, we're going to first of all go to a penalty for misconduct, and neither one of them have had that. It'll then go to the wrestler has accumulated the greatest number of points for near falls, and I think they're even on that. If a tie remains, it will go to the greater number of takedowns, and I think they're the same on that. And the greater number of escapes. Seems to me it'll come down to the stalling.
Kirby, it's a shame that somebody has to lose a match like that.
Oh,
Both
yeah.
young men gave it all they had.
They gave it all they had, and it's a shame that it even has to go to have it called for stalling, although there's no question about Enderby didn't hustle right when he should have there. But anyway, we're down to this situation now. I'm not going to try to make a judgment on it, but we can give exactly what happened. As soon as the officials give us the word, we can tell probably why they arrived at the decision they arrived at.
There's a look at the scorer's table right now. They are deciding the criteria, going through the scorecard, and the winner is Enderby. Joe Enderby, the senior, at 112 pounds, Class A, wins it on a criteria decision. He ends the season with one more than you see on your screen, 27-0. Coming up next, the awards for the 105-pound class and the 119. Set for the awards in the 112-pound class. We are making the awards to all three class champions and the runners-up. At 112 pounds, Class A, the runner-up, Jeff Semrad of Waukesha South, and the winner, Joe Enderby of Green Bay Preble, who won it in an overtime, one that went right down to the wire. In Class B, the runner-up, Steve Kalsher of Mount Horeb, and the champion, Dave Wilson of Richland Center. And in Class C, the runner-up, Brian Stickney of Cornell, and the winner, Mike Mueller of Prescott. There you have the champions and the runner-ups in the 112-pound competition. As I mentioned a moment ago, just a reminder, next Saturday at 2 we'll be broadcasting the 11th annual WIAA State High School Hockey Championships live from the Dane County